Hello, this is the final video in our short series of videos helping you get up and running with Appium. We've installed Java and the Android SDK, we've installed Appium and Eclipse, and now we're going to actually construct a small test to launch an app on a virtual device. This will bring together and summarise everything that we've done and just provide a final proof that everything is installed and set up correctly, and a simple demonstration that how easy it is to manipulate and run a test on a mobile device. So we're going to get on with that straight away. Nothing else to install, just some problems to solve as we construct our test. We'll get on with that straight away. So we're going to get started by starting up the virtual device. We do this by typing in the DOS window the command Android AVD, and this will start up the device manager. And there we can see that the device that we created earlier is available. We can edit it if we want. Pay particular attention to the target API. You'll find this is a very important topic as we develop more and more programs with Android devices. So we're going to start it up. I'm going to launch it now, and away it goes. So it's going to create an envelope pretty quickly. There it is. But this takes a little bit of time to fully initialize. So what we're going to do is we're just going to iconize that and take it out of the picture while we do our next steps, which we should be. I think what we probably want to do now is start up Appium. It takes a little while to come up. There it is, and we're just going to kick that off. Ready, and get that out of the way, and then we're going to start up Eclipse. There's our Eclipse executable that we introduced earlier. Get that running, and we'll go straight into the project desktop. When we've got the project desktop open, we're going to create a new project, and then we're going to set up some source code areas for it. I think we'll call the project name Android Calculator, because that's what it is. We're going to use the calculator application on the Android device, so that's going to be our project. Notice I'm not altering any of the default settings. That's it. We'll create a little project. Next we'll create ourselves a little package definition, just somewhere to put all of our source code. And this I will do this under native apps. And then finally we'll create a Java class. So we'll call this something like calculator test. Again, you can call these things what you like. This is your choice. This is just what I'm calling it to make it meaningful to me. Now at this point I'm going to cut in some code that I wrote earlier because it's a bit boring typing it all in. Feel free to copy this code if you like. What we're going to do is, you'll notice there's a considerable number of errors down the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through solving those. But before we do that, we need to take a look at some of the source code. So let's quickly look at our code, shall we? I've declared a couple of variables at the top, a driver reference and a reference to the frame layout of the calculator that we're going to be manipulating. The capabilities section is very, very important. And we need to be clear about how we understand what's going on here. The capabilities section is where we set up how we want to interact with the device. So we've specified the platform API version. Remember that was set up in the device, 4.3. We've defined that we're using the calculator 2 package, and we've defined the app activity that we want to use within that package. So we've created a reference directly to the item that we want to use. And this is very, very important. And then finally in this section we've declared the driver is a new version of the Android driver, and that's going to be the item that we're going to manage and manipulate. As you can see here. And then we've defined the frame layout. We've gone and found that by finding the Android frame layout within the calculator object. So next we're going to move to actually finding all the items that we want. You can quite clearly see that we're using effectively a Selenium call, find element by ID. This is all pretty standard Selenium stuff. And then we're defining the package name and then the ID specifically. So we're going to take a more detailed look at this in a second using the UI Automator tool to actually inspect a calculator object when it appears. But for the moment, just assume that I've got this correct in the code, and we're going to use com.android.calculator2 :ID, and then the button we're going to press. Having located that, we're then going to click on it. Okay. After that, we're going to put a little assertion statement in there to check that we've actually done the right bit of mathematics, and then we're going to quit the application and close everything down. And that should be a very simple little test that just proves we're doing what we want to do. Now we're going to start off fixing the problems now, and we're going to just go through them one by one, just by drifting the cursor over the top of them, finding out what it says about what's missing, and we're just going to try and fix individually the error. So the first one is it throws an exception, so we need to import malformed exception. So we could do that. Some of the others will be slightly more difficult to fix, and we're going to take a look at that. So we're going to import that one, easy peasy. And then we got, oh, this one's a bit of a problem. There's nothing to import. We've got to write some code, or, well, we're going to fix the project setup. Most of the errors that we've got here are related to that. So we're going to look at the build path, and we're going to find out that we haven't actually got all the libraries that we need. We've got basically just the JRE system library, so clearly we need more than that. So we're going to go and look at the Selenium objects that we need to import. Now I've got a directory already set up with what we need. That's basically it. We need Selenium Java and we need the Java client. But if you need to download them, you can get the Java client from this directory here on Maven. And it's just a matter of clicking on the item and downloading it. Not a big problem. And we can do the same with the Selenium items. We'll take a look at those. Well, let's use Google to go off and find Selenium for us. There it is. My favourite, so it solves all problems. And we can download the Java libraries that we need for Selenium there and save them. But like I say, I'd already downloaded them, so I've already got them available for use. I'm just showing you where you could get them if you haven't already got them. So let's just add those external libraries. So we need to add the client library. Let me just go in. I've got myself in a bit of a muddle. There they are. So I need to add Java client. That's it. I need to add that one. Okay, that's done. And then I need to add to the Selenium. Where's that? Let's get to the Java. Yep, that's one. I need to add that. And then I need to add all the dependent libraries as well that it uses. So we just highlight all of those and add those in as well. And that's it. We've added quite a lot. But that should, as we go through, change what we can do because we've effectively fixed the project setup with our reference libraries. That's the JRE system libraries, and then there's all the reference libraries that we've just added. So if we go in turn to our errors now, let's just make this a little bit larger, so see if I can make it larger and still fit it on the page so that we can actually walk through them and fix them one at a time. We'll probably find that one solution might fix several of the problems. But anyway, let's get on with that. So what have we got? So now it's an import. The problems are imports now. Import, yeah, they're all being fixed by import. Desire capabilities, I can import that now. I haven't got to fix it. Yeah, import. Every fix is an import now because I hadn't set any imports up in my code. I just imported the raw code. This one might get rid of quite a few. Bang. Okay. This one's quite important. 3 asserts. We're going to use testng. So we're going to import testng and not the org and JUnit ones. Right. Okay, finally. Oh, and it looks like I didn't cut and paste my code correctly. I've got a bracket missing. Let's add that bracket. Okay, so my code is, well, it looks like it's error 3. That would be amazing. Right, let's get moving. We need to test this. We've got some code, so let's get the device back. It looks like it's fully initialized now, so let me unlock it. Also looks like it's decided to arrange itself horizontally rather than vertically. That's a shame. There's our calculator. Yes, very simple item. But, that's our calculator. We need to, I think it might be a good time now if we actually had a look at how things are made up. So I'm going to start up the UI automator, and I'm going to take a snapshot picture. This is quite a cool tool that comes with the Android SDK, and it's going to take a picture of the device as it's currently set up, and it's going to allow us to do a little bit of inspection on the items that are there so that we can make sure that our code is actually correct and that we've correctly identified the objects that we want. So you can see that as I move things around, what actually happens is that we move the object around, it gets highlighted as it's got focus, and on the right hand side of the tool all the iconography changes to give us all the attributes of that item. And you can see how it's identified, and you can see that it's got a resource ID, and as I'm clicking on the 7 at the moment, you can see pretty easily that matches the item I was trying to find in the code. So it looks like I can remember how this calculator is made up and that we can actually go and find it. Anyway, so that's our item within the frame layout, which we've identified up above. And you can see that it works both ways. As I slide down the objects up above, so it highlights a different object on the picture, and if I highlight an object on the picture, it will adjust the information that appears in the windows. So that's quite useful. So there, just to reinforce the point, right, I think we've done enough of that. So anyway, our calculator's there. And we're going to do a very simple test on the calculator. We're just going to add two numbers together. Okay, so let's get rid of that for a second. Let's bring up Appium. Right, we're going to kick this off now. So that's just proving that I've got very little set up. I'm just using it as a communications path. Okay, so I've started Appium up. I'm not pre-launching or pre-loading the application. That's all something that we can do if we want to, but I've done it manually just to show how it starts up. So Appium's running and the device is running. Let me get Eclipse back. I'm trying to arrange these windows so that we can see all three. Okay, this is going to be a bit tricky, but anyway, we'll give it a go. What I'm going to attempt to do at this time is simply to run this Java program as a Java program. It's not a test program, not configured it as a test framework or any other type. It's just a straightforward Java program. So I'm going to start it up as oh, I've got to save it first, yes, and then I'm going to start it up and get it running. Let's see what happens. Let's come up with a number 12. I think I'm adding 5 and 7 together, so I've got the result there. But it doesn't look like it's running properly. What have I done wrong? I've done something wrong. Let me have a little look. Okay, let's go. We've got this running. Looks like it's communicating. Let me delete that out so we can start again and run the test. Not sure it's working properly. Let me have a little look. Yeah, I got an error message there. Let me investigate that. Not sure I need one of these commands. Let me give it another go. Yeah. Okay, I've done something a bit silly. Running around in a loop here. Displaying some of the commands, but not quite working properly. Okay. Well, let me just briefly show you the line I commented out as not being needed. Yeah, this is very simple. This code is taken from a big test and it's very simple, and I don't need to click that delete button. Let me just run it one more time as a Java application. Start it up okay. Yeah, I'm getting the messages okay there. Yeah, that looks more healthy. 7 plus 5 equals 12. Yes, and the asserts worked. That's good, and now it's running the exit code and closing down the test. Okay, that's actually working correctly now. Now we've got my my few silly mistakes out of the way. The assert works. I've got no stack trace. It's produced a sensible outcome. So that's it. We've effectively built a very simple test that proves that we can manipulate an application on an Android device. So just to quickly recap, we've installed Java, we've installed the Android SDK, we've installed Appium, we've installed Eclipse, we've written a very simple test program, and we've got them all working together. And we haven't had to do a huge amount of configuration. Obviously, there are many topics that open up after this, from this trivial example, but you can see that you can get up and running quite quickly with just a few installations and very little configuration. I hope this has helped you out, and I hope this gets you up and running.